Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Richard Simons and this is going to be my take and review on the electric Mini. The Mini is a British classic, isn't it? It's been around for many years, evolved over the decades, and it's right up there in the current century with an electric version. So, in fact, they've been around a couple of years. I just haven't had one yet, but now I've got two here, a level 2 and a level 3. So in this video, I can give you some of my opinions on these cars, talking to you a little bit about what you can really achieve in the real world range of these little electric cars, what they're like to live with, compare the specs, and just show you a few of the brilliant little details of these cars because I think they're pretty good. So stick around and I'll show you. The level 2 that we see here, there was a level 1 version, but that's now not available anymore. So they start with a level 2 and they start at £31,000, I believe, at the time of filming this. And then we've also got the slightly higher spec level 3 here. And then I think they've added a little bonus one on top, but it's good here to get two comparisons. And they're not cheap, are they? I mean, over £30,000 for a little hatchback. It doesn't have the biggest battery in the world. It's got over 30 kilowatt hour battery, of which about 28 are usable capacity. So most people say the real world range of these is kind of 100-ish miles. I did a test the other day in warm weather, just driving sensibly. I could get 150 miles out of one of these. And on the school run the next day and driving through town, it proved to be a very efficient little car. So it really does eke the best that it can out of a small battery. Not much range, I can hear you say. Well, yes, not the biggest battery, but they're small cars. There's only so much space there. And the reality is most people buying these aren't going to be trudging up and down the motorway as sales reps every day. So why carry a massive battery? You want small, lightweight, efficient. And that goes along with the original Mini ethos, doesn't it? I mean, we know they've all grown over the years. They've kind of had to, but it is still a small, compact car. But does the quality and the trim and feel of it justify that price tag? They only come with this two-door hatchback body style. There's a few incarnations of the Mini now, the Countryman and such like. Then you can get a plug-in hybrid version of those. But the full electric Mini, battery only, no engine at all, is only in this body style. But let's start off with this red one here, level 2 car. It's got some of the most distinctive wheels you've ever seen in the car, right? So these are 17-inch wheels. And I think these also come on this Revolute model, this kind of bonus top-level model. They really stand out. This one's got this bright yellow rim on the outside. It looks like a rim protector, but that is part of this wheel design here. I actually quite like it. That's a little bit different, isn't it? Again, classic Mini style around here. This one's got black roof, black wing mirrors. Again, with Minis over the years, you can choose different things. You could get Union Jack flags on the roof and all sorts of different combinations there. Keyless entry, that's now standard. That's a level 2 and upwards standard feature. I think on level 1s you didn't have keyless entry. And then this is your charge flap here. And it does have CCS rapid charging. So you've got your normal Type 2 port here, which you would plug in just at home, for example. And then under here, you've got the DC charging port. So the CCS is a very standard rapid charging connector that you'll get at all rapid charging stations now. So I think most buyers of these are just going to be commuting, doing the school run and such like, and they'll just charge from home each night or once a week, depending on how many miles you do. But they can still do longer trips, and then you would use that fast charging. They don't have the highest headline charging speed. It's just under 50 kilowatts I could get out of it. But because it's an efficient car, it is still adding quite a good number of kind of miles per hour of charging speed. So actually, when I did a longer trip in one of these, the 20 minutes, 30-minute stop for tea, coffee, toilet break, answer a couple of emails, was enough to pretty much refill this car again. So small battery, not the greatest range in the world, but fairly fast charging because it's efficient, and that's the key. This is a low-cost car. It doesn't cost much to run. So in terms of home electricity prices going up 28 pence per kilowatt an hour, this was going to make the most of that electricity you pay and put in this car, because it is one of the most efficient EVs I've tested. So the rear, we've got these classic Union Jack rear lights. I think they look great. I think it's a nice little detail. They're all badged as a Cooper S, and this level 2 and the level 3 have both got reversing cameras and reversing sensors. The level 3 adds front parking sensors as well. In the back, okay, the boot's pretty small. It's a Mini, it's a small car, it's going to be small, but row of shopping bags there is fine. What you do get still is this quite nice underfloor storage area here, so plenty of room to put your cables and first aid kit and such like in there. And then the seats do fold, so they're split here, about 60-40. You drop them down, you actually get quite a nice little square load area there, or you could put a couple of larger dogs in there, no problem at all. So it is going to be small, it's going to be limited, but actually it's a pretty nice practical load area with a nice opening here. So this level 3 also has 17-inch wheels, but in a kind of more classic Mini style, Cosmos style in gloss black. That looks pretty funky. I do like this colour actually, this grey is lovely. Also got the Cooper S badge, and then it has a little 3 here to show that this is the higher spec version. This one's also got an opening panoramic glass roof, very nice. They both have LED headlights, but on the level 3 you get matrix LED headlights. It's light until about 10:30, so I haven't tested these myself late at night, but they're probably pretty good, eh? I don't know. Both of them have got automatic range sensors, and even the level 1 cars had that as well. Okay, so I'm in the level 2 car here, and we've got these nice heavily supported seats here. And apparently they've all had these sports seats, as they call them. This level 2 car here has got the cloth centre section, leather bolsters. Still got adjustable thigh support on both the driver and passenger side. It's a manual seat adjustment, but I can easily pump it up or down for height adjust. And in fact, if you go right down, I'm actually a bit low. I've got plenty of headroom here. So that even taller people, my colleague Igor there is tall and large, and he fits in here comfortably. And then I've got just a manual lever for backrest adjustment, which goes in big stages. But in here, straight away, you've just got that nice sense of feeling of quality. You've got leather steering wheel here, that's nice. All these nice toggle switches here are nice details. I've got heated seats, I've got Apple CarPlay, I've got native navigation. Folding wing mirrors. It's just a nice place to be. This armrest, I like having an armrest so that you can still be comfortable even on long journeys. You can fold it out of the way if you prefer like that. What I don't have in here is anywhere to wirelessly charge my phone. So I've got something there would be nice, or something there would be nice, but I don't have that. Nonetheless, a couple of big cup holders there, and then you've got your kind of iDrive control here. BMW call it iDrive. I don't know if you're allowed to call it iDrive on a Mini, but it's the same thing. And actually I quite like using that rather than having to just use touchscreen. And then you've got some nice easy to use steering wheel functions here. So it's a very pleasant place to be, and just has a sense of quality about it. It feels very solid. You know, there's some plastics here, but they're all good quality. Just nice details, a nice kind of rotary dials here, and these little toggles between sport, normal, and green driving modes, easy to use. What I'm intrigued to know is, can I get in the back? So let me adjust my seat properly into my driving position, and let you know, let's be fair, so I think you'll agree there, that's a perfectly reasonable driving position for me, 6 foot tall. Will I be able to get in the back? Let's have a look. This should be enough. I've not tried this before, so I'm in. Ooh, it's small, but I'm actually in. I wouldn't want to spend hours like this, but as I said before, you could give me a lift home from the pub, that's fine. But let's say I go to the passenger side and this seat can go forward a little bit, still get somebody in the front there absolutely fine, then I am also absolutely fine in the back here. I can spend a fair bit of time here. It is only a 2-seater in the back, it's just not wide enough for 3 seats. You do have ISOFIX, you can have 2 child seats in the back here if you needed it. There's a cup holder here if you needed it. But this, I'm okay for headroom. So you could easily have 4 medium-sized people in here, definitely 2 adults and 2 children, 3 taller adults and 1 smaller, something like that, you'll be absolutely fine. Right, so this is the level 3 car, and let's play spot the difference. Well, firstly, we've got that sunroof, so it's a nice bright cabin in here. I can tilt that sunroof, or I can slide that right back. We've got these lovely leather seats here. Well, lovely if you like leather. They're just very good quality though. Again, we've got the thigh support here. There's ISOFIX in the front here as well. And then you do have a bit of lumbar adjustment on these ones as well, but it's in the middle kind of dials here. Lovely detail here, again, sort of little Union Jack badges, perforated headrests, Union Jack on the dashboard there. Slightly more kind of glossy finishes to some of the plastics, like here on the steering wheel. Again, everything just feels premium and quality. Again, the steering wheel's a nice real leather there, so that feels good. Some nice stitching, another Union Jack badge there. I've got a head-up display in this one. And then there's also a Harman Kardon sound system. And I've got to say, this Harman Kardon sound system in this is brilliant, it's epic. I was blown away. And genuinely, I found it better than the Harman Kardon in the BMW i4 M50 that costs many times more than this car. So that's great. I've got an extra USB port here, maybe because that's a newer car, it could be slightly different. Again, there's no kind of easy to use phone dock for charging, or is there? Because if I look in the headrest, armrest here, there's a kind of docking station here where you can put your phone. The only trouble is, my phone doesn't fit. Neither does my colleague's phone, so I don't know what phone does these days, but my phone there does not fit and cannot wirelessly charge in there. So that's a bit of a bummer. However, everything else about it is just lovely. Again, easy to use steering wheel controls. We've got Apple CarPlay. The only thing I would say about Apple CarPlay, and I can't speak for Android Auto, it's probably the same, is that although this is a bigger screen in this car than the Level 2, it's just slightly wider here. The space that Apple CarPlay uses is fairly small, but it still works, it's still functional. It means you can use your Apple Maps, Google Maps, Waze, whatever you want to use, your preference there. But it's just a nice place to be. It just feels great, solid, well made. We've got that kind of a small opening. It's weird going in a car again that's got a more vertical windscreen. I'm just used to all these cars with big, long, sloping windscreens now, but we've got that kind of smaller letterbox opening. But although the A-pillars are fairly large here, I found visibility not a problem. Big glass windows here, and then they're pretty large wing mirrors actually for this size of car. Very nice. Ambient lighting, very nice. Again, it is manual seat adjustments for height. You don't get electric seats or anything like that, but that's okay. Very comfortable. Steering wheel adjusts nicely. Again, I just found it really nice and easy to be in here and spend a long time, do a long journey, and there's absolutely no problem at all. Some electric cars have storage under here, but not in the Mini. You've just got a big plastic cover covering lots of other gubbins. There is a connector there for jumping in case you get a dead 12-volt battery. But otherwise, nothing you need to touch under here except for just your screen wash. This little coloured ring around here is just a nice little feature. As you turn your temperature up or down, the colours around here move. And even when you're reversing and the parking sensors are detecting that you're close, this actually comes up in amber as well. So that's just, again, nice little feature. Let's do a little acceleration test here. So it's 30 miles an hour here, and I'm just coming to the national speed limit sign there, which is 60. So let's go. 30, 40, 50, 60. So it's a pretty quick car, isn't it? 0 to 60, 7.3 seconds. So it's certainly got the performance, and electric cars have been heavy, you know, heavier cars. So this is heavier than the petrol and diesel versions, I'm sure. But it's still fun. It doesn't feel heavy, and that's what it would lose, I think, if it did have that bigger battery pack. So this is still agile, it's got nice steering. In fact, there's so much grunt, you also get a little bit of torque steer, but it has that lovely characteristic of just being agile, and you can put the car exactly where you want it to be in the road. So as I bundle down a country lane here, it's just brilliant fun. It really is. It's one of those cars that really makes you smile. Renault Twizy, some of the performance cars, of course, but without going blisteringly fast, it can just make you smile. And every time you go around a corner, you just got a lovely sharp feel to it. It's agile around town. It's great fun on a country road, but it also isn't out of its depth on the motorway. I did quite a long motorway journey, and it was refined, it was comfortable, it was smooth. Yes, you get a bit more cabin noise and bigger, more luxurious cars, but it doesn't feel like a little car. You don't feel like you're vulnerable or getting blown around on the motorway at all. It's a solid little thing with a quality feel. It just happens to be fairly small compared to some cars, but it doesn't feel out of its depth at all. See, the country road here, it is just great fun. It's so lovely. I can just dodge those potholes there, put the car exactly where I want it to be in the road. Yeah, very enjoyable indeed. Okay, so let's wrap things up a little bit, shall we? What do I think of the Mini Electric? It's taken me a couple of years to drive one, but then two are here at once, and it's been nice to see the differences between the two as well. But both of them feel good quality, solid, well-made little packages. Some lovely little details that just make it charming and give it the character. So the Mini may have changed over the years, it's evolved endlessly, but it's still right up there today. It still has character about it, and I absolutely love it. Could it have more range? Well, I think the real world range of this, you've got to say, would be up to 100 miles in winter, but driven carefully, you can get 150 miles in conditions like today. Would I like a slightly bigger battery? I probably would a little bit. I'd like to see kind of the 2 hours of solid driving, so maybe about 140 mile range, because then a half an hour break's absolutely fine. But there's not many people over the years, petrol, diesel, electric, the original one, who've ever bought a Mini, who do lots of long distances. It's never been that car. It's about a fun little car, which is still a laugh on the commute. You can dart around town, you can do the school run, and it just has character. And I think that's still the case with these. And if you start adding bigger batteries, it would get even heavier and it would lose some of its appeal. So my overall verdict to the Mini is, yeah, bloody love it. I think it's really hard to fault. It's a nice little package. You buy it with the right expectations. It's great. It's not cheap, but it feels good quality and it still has that charm, and it's made me smile, and a car that makes you smile is a brilliant car, isn't it? So that's it. That's my verdict. Hard to fault it. I really love it. Thank you for watching. I hope it's been interesting, and we'll see you on the next one.